Hi, dear grade 6 students, how are you? Now that I'm sure that you have finished the worksheet, you solved all of it, it's time to watch this video for the solution. Are you ready? Okay. I'm going to start with the writing part, the compare contrast essay. I'm sure that everyone has his own ideas, his own way of writing, but I'm just going to give you my model. Just to remember and refresh our minds, the essay that I asked you to write about is the compare contrast between cars and motorcycles. It's very easy and simple. But we have to start with the Venn diagram. We have to organize our ideas first, okay? What similarities and differences I mentioned in my solution? Okay, and notice, please notice here that I wrote phrases, not complete sentences, phrases, guys. Similarities, both, for sure, I should not write both again here. Both have engines and work on fuel, and both need legal requirements, okay? But what about the differences? Okay, the car is expensive, the motorcycle is cheap. The car can carry many people at once. A motorcycle can carry only two people at once. Three, the car adapt to all weather conditions. Motorcycle doesn't adapt to all weather conditions. Simply, I organized the ideas that I want to write about in my essay, and now I'm going to move to produce my essay. Okay? What did I write in my essay? Cars versus motorcycles. As I did before with cats and dogs, I used the simplest way to write the title, Cars versus Motorcycles. Introduction. I have to start with the general idea, then specific and thesis statement. Every person uses vehicles for transportation. Since cars and motorcycles are means of transportation and they are vehicles, I have to talk about them. In modern day, people would like to have their own transportation. I'm still talking in general aspect. Among many means of transportation, now I'm moving to the specific. The most common ones are the motorcycles and cars. You see, I moved from the very general to more specific. Now I have to move to the thesis statement. People often struggle with considering buying a car or a motorcycle due to the various similarities and differences between them. So here I mentioned my purpose of the writing, which is the similarities and differences between cars and motorcycles. Okay, here I divided, as I said, I prefer to divide my body paragraphs into two, one for the similarities and one for the differences. Let's start with the similarities, the first body paragraph. Cars and motorcycles have many points in common that people should consider before buying one of them. They both use engines to make them mobile, to move. Here, mobile, we mean to move. The engines have the same means of operation that they both use fuel to run. So you see, both they have engines and the engines need fuel. As a result, the driver must do regular fuel refuel and engine check up at the mechanic. This is just as an example. In addition, there are legal requirements that affect both cases in a similar way. We need legal requirements to drive a car or a motorcycle. For instance, there are legal requirements that both cases should take an insurance cover, especially for the sake of third parties. Okay, here there are certain insurance cases that we have to take while driving a car or a motorcycle. One can't drive a motorcycle or car without a valid and current driving license. Also, all of these go under the legal requirement, the insurance with the driving license. Okay, we should have both in order to allow the government to allow us to drive a car or a motorcycle. Now I finished from the similarities. I have to move to the differences. Look how I started my differences paragraph. On the other hand, a host of differences do exist when the two means of transport are compared. First difference is that some people think cars are too expensive. This is the first difference, that cars are expensive. Most of the motorcycles are cheap and it won't use the gas as much as car does. So actually, motorcycles save lots of money for the user. This is the first difference. Another difference is that cars can carry more than motorcycle, can carry more people than motorcycle. Families usually consider buying a car as the transportation because it is very convenient to bring the whole family to travel or to other places. Yes, it's right. The whole family can ride one car. However, motorcycle can only carry two people at once, and its seats are small and make people feel uncomfortable to ride it. There are some weather conditions. This is the third difference. I started with the weather conditions. There are some weather conditions when a motorcycle can be used, but a car can be used. Instances, we mean examples of this, included during heavy rain seasons. Example in in winter season when it's raining. Using a motorcycle during such seasons makes it prone to cause accidents as compared to using a car. Why? The four tires of a car increase its stability more than the case for a motorcycle. Okay, you might see that here I'm giving more information, details. Yeah, because it's an advanced essay. It's my essay. But in case you don't give such detailed information, it's okay. What we care about is that you give the correct similarities and differences in the simple and correct language. Now that I have finished from the body, I have to close my essay with a conclusion. In conclusion, a car and a motorcycle got a number of similarities and differences between them. Here I'm restating the thesis statement. People should think carefully and get to know themselves better first, to know what type of lifestyle they do have and think what places they usually go to the most in their daily life. Then they decide what transportation is the best choice that can fit their needs and stuff. Okay, this is my kind of writing. It's not complicated, it's easy, but for sure you have to write your own writing, your own essay in your own language. Now that we have finished from the writing part, we have to move to the grammar part. Okay, guys, now let's move to the grammar part, questions, and solve them together, which is about the action verbs. Okay, let's start with the first exercise, which is underline the action verb in each sentence. Put brackets around the direct object. Pay attention here, please. We're going to put the brackets only around the noun or the pronoun. It's not necessary to take the articles or the adjectives also with the direct object. Only the noun or the pronoun, okay? Number one, the students displayed their talents in the variety show. What did the students do? Now I'm asking about the verb, the action verb, displayed. So the action verb is displayed. They displayed what? Their talents. So the direct object is only talents. Take talents only without their. Two, the school principal introduced each act. What did the school principal do? Introduced. Introduced what? Each act. So what is the action verb introduced? The direct object is act. Three, Wilson played the drums. What did Wilson do? Wilson played. So the action verb is played. Played what? He played the drums. So the direct object is drums. Four, the two girls sang a beautiful ballad. The two girls, what did the two girls do? They sang. So the action verb is sang. Sang what? A ballad. Okay, so the direct object is ballad. Five, Adam performed a solo. What did Adam do? Performed. He performed. The action verb is performed. Performed what? A solo. Okay? So the direct object is solo. Six. Adam's sister recited a poem. Adam's sister, what did she do? Recited. The action verb is recited. She recited what? A poem. So the direct object is poem. Seven. Matthew wrote an original song for the show. What did Matthew do? He wrote. The action verb is wrote. What did he write? He wrote a song. So the direct object, song. 8. Isabel told the jokes in a comedy act. What did Isabel do? She told. The action verb is told. What did she tell? She told the jokes. So the direct object is jokes. 9. Mrs. Hernandez and Mr. Underwood judged the contest. What did Mrs. Hernandez and Mr. Underwood do? They judged. So the action verb is judged. And what did they judge? The contest. Okay, so the direct object is contest. 10. Matthew won the top prize. What did Matthew do? He won. So won is the action verb. What did he won? What? The prize. Okay, so prize is the direct object. Let's exercise. Draw one line under the action verb. Draw two lines under the indirect object. Put brackets around each direct object. Again, I repeat, when you want to ask about the direct object, you ask what or whom. When you want to ask about the indirect object, you ask to whom, to what, or for whom, or for what. Number one, Grace handed her mother the notebook. What did Grace do? Grace handed. So the action verb is handed. Handed what? The notebook. So this is the direct object. Okay, so handed the notebook to whom? To her mother. Mother is the indirect object. Okay? Two, Jackie tossed me. Jackie tossed me the basketball. What did Jackie do? Tossed. Tossed is the action verb. Tossed what? The basketball. Basketball is the direct object. Tossed the basketball to whom? To me. Okay, so me is the indirect object. Ben played the class a recording. Ben played. Played is the action verb. Played what? A recording in a direct object. Played the recording to whom? The class. Okay, so the class is the indirect object. 4. The teacher taught the group the song. The teacher did what? Taught, the action verb. Taught what? The song. Song is direct object. To whom? To the group. So group is the indirect object. Okay? Mr. Yamada bought his daughter a winter coat. Okay? What did Mr. Yamada do? He bought, action verb. He bought what? Winter coat. A coat. Coat is direct object. To whom? To his daughter, the indirect object. And guys, if you all notice that always the indirect object is before the direct object. Okay? The indirect object is usually before the indirect object. Number 6. Zayn's grandmother knitted him a red scarf. What did Zayn's grandmother do? Knitted. She knitted. Action verb. Okay? Knitted what? A scarf. Direct object. To whom? To him. Him is the indirect object. You see here it's a pronoun, not a noun. The waiter gave each person a menu. The waiter did what? Gave. Action verb. Gave what? A menu. Direct object. To whom? To each person. So person is the indirect object. The chef prepared the customers a special meal. The chef did what? Prepared. The action verb. Prepared what? A meal. Meal is the direct object. For whom? For the customers. Indirect object. The host showed his guests a good time. The host did what? Showed. Action verb. Showed what? Good time. Time. Direct object. So, to whom? To the guests. Guests is the indirect object. 10. The guests thanked him for the invitation. What did the guests do? Thanked. The action verb. Okay. Thanked. What? For what? For the invitation. The direct object. Thanked who? Him. Okay. Him is the indirect object and okay, now we move to the third exercise. Rewrite each sentence using the correct capitalization and punctuation. And here the punctuation also includes the quotation marks. Okay, guys? Can you suggest a good book? Asked Martin. Okay, let's note something. Asked Martin. So Martin is the one who is asking. So asked Martin should be outside the quotations. Okay? So the quoted language here, can you suggest a good book? But there are no quotations. The sheep will escape. There is no punctuation. What should I do? I open a quotation. Can you suggest a good book? Question mark, since it's a question. I close the quotation. Then I write asked Martin a period. And notice I should write even inside the quotation. I have to start the sentence with the capital letter. Number 2, what types of books interest you? Asked the librarian. So he also asked the librarian should be outside the quotation. I open quotation. What? Capitalized. types of books interest you, question mark, close the quotation, ask the librarian, period. Number 3, Martin replied, I like mysteries and science fiction. Martin replied should be outside the quotation. Martin replied, comma, open quotation, I like mysteries and science fiction, period, inside the quotation, then I close the quotation. 4, let me show you some of our newest mysteries the librarian suggested. Okay, so where should be the quotation? Okay, open quotation, let me show you some of our newest mysteries, comma, close quotation, the librarian suggested. Notice here, since I still have to write something after the quotation, I didn't put a period here, I added a comma, then at the end of the sentence I put a period. Number 5, Martin exclaimed, these look great. Okay, Martin exclaimed, comma, open quotation, these look great, exclamation mark, close the quotation. Okay, so now that we have reached the last part of the questions, read each sentence or rewrite the sentences, sorry, then rewrite them correctly using correct capitalization or punctuation, correct mistakes made with verbs that do not agree with their subject, okay? Pay attention, some verbs might have some changes, they do not agree with the subject, okay? We're going to have some examples. Madeline said, my family give good care our pets. Okay? First of all, I have to capitalize Madeline. Madeline said, and I have to add a comma because I start with a punctual quotation. So Madeline capitalized, then I have to add a comma. Then inside the quotation, I have to capitalize my My family gives, since I'm talking about one family, so I should add s to the verb. My family gives our pets good care. Also, here there is a mistake in the order of the sentence. Okay, now it became a correct sentence. Madeline said, comma, I open quotation, capital letter, my family gives our pets good care, period, close the quotation. Number 2, should I brush the cat's thick coat every day? She asked. Okay, here the mistakes are only in the punctuation. Should I brush the cat's thick coat every day? Question mark, then close the quotation. She asked, period at the end. 3, my father walked the dog every morning, Madeline added. No, the quotation should not be here. It should be here because Madeline added is the one who is quoting. Okay, it should be alone. And I have to capitalize the M here. So I open quotation. My capitalized father walks the dog every morning. Comma, close the quotation. Madeline added, period. 4, Madeline said, my brother give them food and water. First of all, you have to capitalize Madeline, and I cannot have a period here. I should have a comma. Madeline said, comma, open quotation, capitalize my brother gives. My brother gives. One brother, so I should add S. My brother gives them food and water. Okay, pay attention to the verbs. Number 5, we love our pets, exclaimed Madeline. Okay, first of all, I have to capitalize we love our pets. Okay, since exclaimed, it's better to put here an exclamation mark instead of the comma. Close the quotation. Exclaimed Madeline, and a period at the end. I hope this video benefits you in solving the worksheet. Revise the worksheet carefully for the coming online quiz. Okay, till that time, stay safe. Okay, see you, inshallah. Bye.